I remember a story my master once told me one that completely changed how I understood compassion. There was a blind man who went to visit his friend one evening. When it was time to leave, night had already fallen. Before stepping out, the blind man asked his friend, "Could you light me a lantern?" His friend was puzzled. "But you can't see. What good is a lantern to you?" The blind man smiled and said, "You're right, I can't see. But others can. If I carry a light, they won't bump into me in the dark." That story has stayed with me for years. At our temple's teaching hall, whenever visitors came to study or listen to the Dharma, I always encouraged them to take home a few Buddhist books as gifts. Some of the older women would often tell me, "I can't read, so I'll pass." I would smile and say, "Then take a few for your children." Usually, they'd shake their heads and reply, "My kids don't practice Buddhism. Giving them these books would just be a waste." That's when I gently remind them of my master's lesson. The people who don't study yet are the ones who need these books the most. Those who already follow the path will find the Dharma on their own. You share the light with those still in the dark. That's real giving. Just like the blind man carrying a lantern, we don't share wisdom for ourselves, but for those who might not see the light yet. Trying to guide others on the path of wisdom isn't about preaching to those who already walk it. It's about reaching out to those who haven't even taken the first step. After all, introducing someone to the teachings is a bit like setting up a marriage. You only introduce someone who's still single. Otherwise, there's no meaning in the match. So now, whenever I share a teaching, I think of that blind man's lantern lighting the way, not for myself, but for others still finding their way through the dark.